G'day everybody and welcome to another video by the Property Club. Today's video is entitled Manila Flood of Condos for Sale. Warning, this video is not financial advice. I will not be held responsible or liable for any investment, loss of money or income. This video is my own personal opinion and is not professional advice. You must do your own research and seek independent advice when buying or selling property. Manila Flood of Condos for Sale. So this is a summary. We're going to look at the rush of condos on the market. It just seems at the moment, not sure if it was the earthquakes recently that happened in Manila and Angeles, but there are a lot of condos, a lot of stock on the market at the moment. Quick summary, we're going to look at the rush of condo sales. This might be due to recent disasters like the earthquakes. There's definitely a rush of sales going on. There's a huge supply, and I would even say that there's an oversupply and it's now become a buyer's market. We're going to look at real condo examples, okay? Extracts from fossicking on the internet that I found personally, and I'm going to actually give you a bit of a price guide of what I would personally offer on those real property examples, those condominiums in Manila, Metro Manila we're focused on today. A bit of historical growth, statistics and data. Alright, we're having a quick look at the Manila real estate boom. There's definitely been a boom. I know personally, since coming to Manila over 10 years ago now, property prices were a lot less than half, okay, than what they are today. So there's definitely a bit of a boom, and we're going to look at some stats to see why is that the case. The first is inflation. So, inflation's sitting around 4 to 5% at the moment. So that means, if you leave cash money in the bank, okay, ultimately your money doesn't go as far the following year. For example, if you have an inflation rate of 5% and you want to buy a Big Mac, year one that Big Mac is 100 peso, year two 105, after 10 years that would be maybe 150 peso for the exact same Big Mac. So actually the value of the Filipino peso has been depreciating over time due to inflation. So a good hedge against that, okay, is actually property. The next is house price change. You can see there, like some years, in recent years, I know the last 1 or 2 years, some property has gone up as high as 15%. So that is insane. So they're saying the nominal increase is up to 15%, which is really, really high. And that does make sense to me. The last 5 years have been insane. So there has been phenomenal growth, especially in housing market in Metro Manila. The next is bank average lending rates. Now this is important because if you notice from about 2012 to 2011, mortgage interest rates have been dropping in the Philippines, and there's been a bit of a flat line, and that's pushed real estate loans up. And you can see on the right hand side the residential loans have been increasing. So year after year there's more money lent out in the market. Okay, so condos class comparison. So let's have a look at this. Actually, this shows that condos are best in its class, right? So versus townhouses versus houses, so single or semi-detached houses, condos are performing extremely well. So why are Manila condos performing so well? First is the price point. Obviously, if you're buying a property for 3, 4, 5 million peso, there's more people in that space looking to buy at a lower amount of 3, 4, 5 million peso than looking to buy a house in Metro Manila for something like 50 to 100 million peso. The fact is there's more people with less money. The second thing is just affordability. It comes down to affordability, what people can afford based on their income. The third is it's an open market for condominiums. So it's legal for both Filipinos and foreigners to own condominiums in the Philippines. Number four is the fact that it's a central location. People are buying in areas like Makati, BGC, Ortigas, this sort of thing, simply because it's centralized to work, especially, compounded with traffic. That is very important. Okay, so let's start with the first example. So this first example is a one-bedroom unit in Makati Prime Tower. So it's a bit of an older building. It's 48.3 square meters. Now the asking price online for this is 2.9 million. So when I give my offer, and I'm going to give my offer of what I would potentially pay for this property, okay, keep in mind that is the maximum amount that I would pay. I would want to pay that as a maximum, and I would certainly, most certainly, think twice if I wasn't able to get it lower than that highest offer. So that's my highest offer. In this case, my offer would be 2.2 million, around 2.2 million, and the price per square meter offer is roughly around about 46,000 peso per square meter. Okay, so that equates to $42,617, okay, US dollars. Now this condo has a view, so it's a decent size. It's 48. I've seen, new modern condos coming out, and they're as small as 12, 13, 14, 15 square meters. I mean, when I was looking a couple years ago to buy condos in Manila, I was surprised to see condos at 20 to 30 square meters. But nowadays, that's kind of the norm, whereas those bigger apartments being, 50 to 100 square meters are really, really getting harder to obtain. Okay, so the next is Columns. Okay, this is Columns by Ayala. So a well-known developer, Ayala. The location is Makati, and it's very, very close by to Greenbelt. So the floor space is 31 square meters. It is a very, very good location. Okay, so my offer here, their asking price is 4.7, but my offer would be 3.7, again as a maximum. So obviously if you could buy below that, I think it represents good buying. So the PSM offer is 120,000 peso maximum, and that equates to $71,360. Alright, the next example is really good. Actually, I like this one in particular. So it's the Emerald Lofts near Robinson's Galleria in Ortigas BPO hub. So for those of you that don't know, Ortigas is a bit of a call center hub. So it's close to, a lot of industry, BPO call center industry, and a lot of jobs. So a lot of people like to live there because then they can walk to work. So this is a great location in my mind. Now the floor space of this is 35 square meters, and it's a loft. So that's only the floor space. So the advantage of a loft is actually you get kind of like extra airspace because you have higher ceilings. So I think this represents really good value in my mind. This is probably one of my favorites that I've seen when fossicking online recently. So I would offer, what would I offer? Somewhere in the high 2 millions, okay? So let's say if you could buy it for 2.8 or under, I think that represents good buying. PSM offer, 82,000 peso per square meter. So that equates to US dollar 55,000 US dollars. Okay. Alright, so the next example is a very famous location. It's extremely popular with foreigners and those working in the area. The area is Fort Bonifacio, or BGC. It's otherwise known as BGC. Okay, Bonifacio Global City is what it's called. Now this is in the CBD. Okay. It's right on the golf course, and if you notice, there's actually a footpath behind. And what I like about it is, for me personally, I have a dog and I like to go walking, so it's a nice space to go walking near the golf course there. Obviously too, if you'd like to play golf, that's a good option too, but it is expensive for membership, so keep that in mind. So they're asking 6.5 million for this. It's only 43 square meters, but if you notice at the very bottom, they're saying separate parking for sale for 1 million peso. Okay, so what I would say is, look, 43 square meters plus 13 is 56 square meter total. So based on that, what I'd offer is 6.35 as an absolute maximum, including the parking slot. Okay, parking is sought after. It is getting harder and harder to find parking, and there are individuals out there not even buying condos, just going out and buying parking slots to then rent them and get a high rental return. So on this one, you're looking at 113,000 peso per square meter, and that equates to 121,000 US dollars, including parking. Not bad. Okay, so this one is definitely really close to my heart. This is the Shangri-La Ortigas condominiums. Okay, now if you look at the notes in the description on this online listing, it actually says their available units studio prices start at 8 million. They're referring to one Shangri-La, whereas the older building that was built a few years prior, probably 3 or 4 years prior, which is St. Francis Shangri-La, they're selling this condominium, which is 38 square meters, okay, at 5.8 million peso. Now, this is a great compound. For those of you that don't know, Shangri-La is a famous brand, okay? It's like living in the Hilton. Shangri-La is awesome. You know, it's up there with Hilton, it's up there with Peninsula and other hotel and resort brands. So it's 5-star. And I think, look, if you get something like this around about the 5 million mark, and you'd be pushing it even to get that, preferably lower though, somewhere in the mid fours to high fours. But I think really hard nowadays, as this is a really popular location where it's near Shangri-La. They have a bridge to the hotel, and you can use the hotel, you can use the facilities, you can actually walk over the bridge to the Shangri-La mall as well. So there's this giant mall, as well as a close proximity, like only 200 or 300 meters to Mega Mall. So close to lots of shopping, really awesome facilities. I think this is a good buy, okay, especially if you can get it somewhere in the high to mid fours. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to comment with your thoughts. Please share this video and subscribe.